again, DJ Smallwood here with Sling Dirt Media in the shop tonight with our feature winner, current points leader, Florence Speedway. How about that, Kenny Stewart, guys? Tell me what's going on, Kenny?
Off to a very good start to the 2023 season.
Yeah.
After the heat race this Saturday, I wasn't sure I had a car beating the 51, but we got it done.
Got it done. Now, 51, Kevin, he's kind of tough. When you go out the first race of the year and beat the reigning champ, that kind of says something, right?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, he's the car to beat at Florence Speedway for sure. I mean, he's had a year and a half of just dominance out of Florence.
Yeah. So tell me about, where'd you start at? This isn't your first piece. Where'd you start at?
No, I started in Chevettes when I was 14 years old.
Back in the Chevette days.
Yeah, we ran Brown County, Brush Creek, Fleming County, all over.
Yeah. Now, your dad and brother, did they both race? I know your dad raced for a little bit.
Yeah, we've all raced. My dad, or my grandpa actually raced figure eights at Florence before I was even born.
Oh, yeah.
Dad ran Camaros, and then he got into the Super Dirts, and then ran around with Gary Engel forever. And
old cone killer.
Yeah, for sure.
I remember the cone killer days.
I used to run around and say the cone killer was my hero when I was little, man.
Oh, man, you had high standards.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I
remember your dad had if I remember serves me right, a yellow late model. Gary Engel did a body on. Dirt Bodies Are Us.
Yep.
And had 22 on it.
Yeah, the door of that car's hanging up in my garage at home.
Is it?
Yeah, it was an old clip car. It wasn't really. It was an old Super Dirt that Dad turned into a late model. It was 600 pounds overweight. But,
yeah. I think I remember that thing being heavy.
Yeah, it was definitely heavy. But yeah, Gary and Dan did a heck of a job on the body.
Yeah. Those guys were great. I mean, good guys. They cared about what they did and did a good job at it too.
Yes, for sure.
Did you ever climb in that car?
Actually, the day that me and my wife started dating in 2004, we were at practice for the North-South, and I was supposed to climb in it at practice, and Dad blowed it up.
Dad blowed it up. Thanks a lot, Dad.
So I guess it wasn't meant to be.
Yeah. How's Dad doing?
He's doing good. He's had 4 strokes, but he
still
comes out and watches me and enjoys it. So
Good. What about the brother? Does brother race any, or I can't remember his name?
Rob's still running go-karts.
Okay.
And my nephew's running go-karts over at Lawrenceburg.
Yep.
Junior never really got into it. My oldest brother, he's ran a couple races, but
he didn't get the bug like you did.
No, neither one of them got the bug like I did. I live and breathe this stuff. So
yeah, God, there's a lot of us that do. You're not alone. Man.
Yeah. But
so where'd you go from Chevettes?
Chevettes. I tried the Super Dirt stuff out when I was
back in the day.
18 years old and didn't have no money and couldn't afford it.
Man, that class was tough back then.
Yeah, and then I got out of it for a while and tinkered around with the Hornet stuff when it first come around and just didn't know enough. So then I got out of the car stuff and went to the go-karts for a few years. And
so, okay, let's refresh. What year would that have been? When you tried the Hornet stuff back then?
2013 was my first year in the Hornets.
Look at the difference the Hornets are now than they were in 2013.
Yes, for sure. They don't even compare anymore.
It's totally different.
Yeah, I mean, I think my first Hornet was $1,200 race ready.
Right.
You can't even put a cage in one for that these days.
It's insane. I mean, that's almost comparable to the Chevettes. Back then, you get it on a turnkey Chevette with the best of everything for $1,200.
Yeah, I think 2000. What was it? 2000. I think Billy Teagarden Jr. built our first Chevette.
Yeah.
I think it was $2,100 race ready.
Hey, it's that's a big difference.
Yeah, me and my brother went partners on that car, and we swapped every other week. He'd drive one week, I'd drive the next.
Okay, Chevettes. Then from Chevettes, you tried the Hornets.
Yeah, I tried the Hornets. Well, I tried the Super Dirts prior to that. And then we had a car that we built at vocational school that actually was owned by Florence Speedway. I had to find a picture of that.
Which vocational school would this have been?
Boone County, out by Conner High School.
Yeah.
We built a car, a pure stock car at the vocational school, and it was owned by Jerry King.
Oh, really?
And I drove that one night at Florence.
Yeah. Jerry owned a figure eight car. And he offered me to get in it one time. Man, I was this close. I almost did. It was that big, I don't know, I call it a hoopty. It was the Valvoline look-alike, had the number 6 on it. Back in the day, it would have been like the old Mark Martin looking thing. I don't remember what kind of car it was. It was a big old hoopty. And I told me and him just having a conversation one time, and he's like, "Hey, you take that thing out and race it if you want." I'm like, "Yeah, I better not."
Yeah, they were fun to watch, but I'd rather watch it from the grandstand.
Yeah,
So.
right, it just wasn't my thing. I mean, I don't know. I don't know how that would have turned out.
Yeah, I'd rather go in circles.
Yeah. I'm good with a figure 8 if I'm like on a tube. You getting pulled by a boat. I can do that kind of figure 8. That's fun.
Yeah.
Depends on who's driving the boat.
For sure. My brother tried to kill me, so.
Well, then that's fun. That's the only way to. The last time I got on a tube, I probably shouldn't have, but I was. It was late summer, and I had shoulder surgery already scheduled in October. So it was like they're like, "Hey, should you be getting on too?" I'm like, "Why not?" I said, "It's already tore up. The surgery's already. I mean, I can't tear it up anymore. It's not like it's already been fixed, and I'm going to mess up. But they can fix it. Yeah. They're going to be in there anyway." So.
Yeah, I messed up and told my brother once down at Williamstown he couldn't throw me off the tube. That was the wrong thing to say.
Yeah, he did, huh?
Yeah.
I remember one time. I think I can't remember now if it was if David Willoughby was driving or Trucker. I can't remember one of them. We was down at Lake Cumberland for the weekend, and I was on the tube and did the whole come around thing and hit the wake and flipped over, but came right back up and I was still on. Well, they thought they lost me, so they slowed way down. Well, then they realized I was still on. I'm like, cool. They throttled it and just yanked the tube right out from under me. Like, well, here I am sitting. That wasn't the hot setup.
Yeah.
All right, it was fun. Might have been some alcohol involved. Yeah, but that's fun. Yeah. Okay. So Chevettes to Hornets back then. What'd you do? How long did you stay in the Hornets then? You said you tried the Super Dirts.
Yeah, I mean, I was in and out of the car racing when I was younger.
Yeah.
Obviously, I couldn't afford it. I had a lot of race cars that sat in the garage that I couldn't afford to put a power plant in. I've had late models, modifieds. I've had them all, but you know, to be able to put them on the racetrack.
When you're younger like that, man, it's just not as easy to do, is it?
No, not for sure.
It takes you 10 or 15 years to be able to afford this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
If you're doing it on your own. Yeah. I get it. So you said you raced around Mud Lick, Fleming County.
We ran Mud Lick, Fleming County, Brush Creek. Obviously Lawrenceburg back in the day.
Yeah.
Old Lawrenceburg.
Old Lawrenceburg. You didn't get to race on the new Lawrenceburg.
I have ran the new Lawrenceburg.
Oh, you have? Okay,
Hornets,
the new configuration. Yeah. With the newer cars or the old stuff?
The last time I was on Lawrenceburg was probably 3-4 years ago.
Okay. Yeah, so that's newer stuff.
Yeah.
More modern stuff. Okay. I mean, I hate the cookie cutter question, what's your favorite track? But kinda, what's your favorite track?
I mean, obviously, Florence Speedway.
Florence is the backyard. Yeah, it's your home track.
Yeah, I mean, that's my home track, and I ran the road as a semi-driver for several years, and we went to tracks all over the country, and
right.
None of them compare to Florence Speedway.
Yeah. It's nice when it's nice, ain't it?
It is.
And then sometimes it's just nice to come back to Florence.
Yeah, when you get away from Florence, you realize how nice Florence truly is.
Yeah. I mean, I know there's nights. It's I'm sure it has its moments, has its character. And depending on where you're at in the pitch, you're wishing you had a little more light or whatever. But then you go somewhere else, and it's like, man, I wish I was back in Florence.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm not saying that everything's not. It's different.
I don't know. I mean, to me, winning at Florence Speedway, it's just sweeter.
Yeah, kind of is.
You know, I've been going there my whole life, and like I was telling Justin the other day, we was talking about this, and I remember being that boy up in turn 2 collecting tear-offs, wishing I could be out there. You know what I mean?
Did you ever wipe them off and try to look through them?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean, just picking up tear-offs and saving them.
Yeah.
And, you know.
Yeah, I don't know what I'm going to do with these. Someday.
Yeah, I don't know what I'm going to do with them, but
they're cool.
Yeah, just a cool souvenir that didn't cost me a dime. So
yeah, cheap souvenirs back then. Gosh.
Yeah.
Nowadays, man, you get souvenirs and people want you to buy them and stuff.
Yeah.
Bro, you know how much those doors are going for?
Yeah, even to be a fan these days, it can get expensive.
It can get expensive. Right. So what kind of plans, goals you got for this year? Is this could be the year?
We'll see. Obviously, we're off to a good start. This is my first time ever leading the points in go-karts or cars. So,
okay. So now it's easy. You just stay there, right?
Yeah. I'm sure the 51.
You've already got to the top. Now it's just stay there.
51's going to have something to say about that, but
right.
It should be a good points battle.
Okay. Well, I'm looking forward to it. I think. I don't know how many I'm going to get to see, but I'm going to be watching from a distance. I'll be checking it out.
Yeah.
I got some new stuff going on. I'm going to be probably on the road a lot myself, but I'll be checking in on my boys.
Yeah, we won't be doing a whole lot of traveling this year. We did do a lot of Moeller last year and running Friday and Saturday night. It's probably mostly going to be Saturday nights this year.
That's a lot of work to run 2 nights a week.
Yeah, it is a lot of work, and I'm in the process of starting my own business. And
really, what kind of business are we starting up?
Towing business.
Towing business.
Bought a rollback and
okay.
Getting into the towing business. So.
Nice, very nice. This is good to know. It's good to know people that's got a tow truck. You never know when you're going to need a tow or something. Hey, I got buddies.
Yeah, obviously Stewart's Wrecker Service or CNC Towing over there.
Okay. I feel like I was coming down 18. I was behind a CNC rollback.
That would be that man right there.
That guy right there.
Yeah,
huh?
yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Well, I thought that's what that was. Very good. I may have pulled off and hit the KFC on the way. It's been a long day, man. I need a little fuel for the tank.
I hear that.
So we're going to do the Hornets.
Yep, we're going to stick with the Hornets. I came back to the Hornets. I thought I was going to build me a sport mod, and my buddy sitting back there decided, that's probably not best.
That's not a good idea.
If I want to be competitive and be up front winning races, this is where I need to be.
Yeah. That makes sense. It makes sense. Tell me about like the work you got to do comparison. Something like this versus a sport mod.
Obviously with the computers and the electronics on these, it can get a little difficult, but I feel like on the mod stuff, you're doing a lot more chassis work, tire work.
Yeah. Those things are nothing but maintenance.
Yeah, there's a lot more maintenance involved in those. There's times that we don't touch this thing all week.
Okay.
Obviously, that's not our plan.
Not your plan,
but sometimes that's the way it works out.
Yeah. I had a guy tell me one time he had a Legend car. And I got behind the wheel of it and played with it a little bit, and it was fun. But he got me thinking, I was like, man, if I was ever going to do another car, this might be my maintenance program. He said, I've left this thing in the trailer for 2 or 3 weeks at a time, take it straight to the racetrack because he never unloaded it, get it out the racetrack, wipe it down, and go out and still ran like top 3. I'm like, hey, that's I got time to do that.
I did get.
I'm not saying I can afford it, but that's my time schedule.
I did get to tinker with the Legend cars last year. I ran the race at Florence. I had a car at the beginning of the season last year before the Ohio Valley and Tri-States separated, and so I did get to experience that.
How'd you like it?
I enjoyed it, but that's not made for somebody my size. Like, yeah, it's a little tight in there.
It's a tin can.
Yeah,
it's a small tin can.
Yeah.
Not that this is. There's not much there, but it's a little bit more than there is to a Legend car.
Yeah, I just felt like if I got upside down on a Legend car, I'd be in trouble because there's no getting out of it in a hurry.
Did you feel like if you got upside down in it, you could just put your hand out the window and roll yourself back over like a like a third
possibly, but I felt like I might be trapped too. So
yeah, I got to get behind one at Moeller. Not at Florence. I can only imagine at Florence that would have to feel like a super speedway, like Daytona or something. Like those cars are so small and Florence is so big.
They're a lot of fun to drive. I mean,
yes, it's probably one of the funnest cars I've ever drove.
It's like a souped-up go-kart, but
yeah, with a body on it.
Yeah.
Not much of a body, but a body.
Yeah.
Huh. Okay.
There ain't a whole lot I haven't drove. I had a modified in 2016. It was actually a E-mod down south.
Okay.
That had a crate motor in it with a 4-barrel. That was before the sport mods came a thing here, and then my wife got pregnant and we ended up selling it. So
that'll happen. I've heard that happens a lot sometimes. Babies come and the cars go.
Yeah. I said we ain't gonna be able to afford this for sure, and I was a kid coming, and
right.
So.
So married, kids. How many kids you got?
Married, 2 kids, two
kids,
girls.
2
One's
girls?
4 and one be 6 at the end of May. So
Gotcha. Yeah, the wife Ashley, she was sending me pictures today, and I'm like, oh man, yeah. I'll look at these later. So I got some good pictures to go through and see what we come up with here.
Yeah.
So, hopefully, did she send me? Do you know if she sent me pictures of like Dad's old late model, the 22 we were talking about?
She did not. I know she sent pictures of the Mod and the Chevette.
Okay.
And most
we need
of the
to
Hornet.
Find me a picture of that late model.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember helping you on your car back in the day.
Time or two, maybe.
Yeah, I remember going to Fun Fest with you and Stan back
in
in
that was
2003-ish.
5.
2005?
2005. That was the first year I got it modified.
Yeah.
It was all black and had the white number on it, the white 18 on it. Yeah, I loved that car. That car was fun. That was old. Kevin Hartman had it before me, and Kevin bought it from Ted Nobby. So those guys had put some laps on it. It was a very good car for me because I had 0 modified experience. So it was a good learning piece, something that was proven that would work and could work if I just do it right. Well, I just don't have the talent that those guys had, but, so I didn't quite have the success they did. But hey, it was fun. I loved that car. It was fun.
Yeah.
Fun Fest was fun back then.
Yeah.
Old Lawrenceburg.
Yeah, that was the old Lawrenceburg.
What did he run, like 13 classes or something like that? Some crazy numbers?
That was a long few days, I know that.
Yeah. Was it Fun Fest or was it the Big Dog? The wreck. I had a real bad wreck over there.
I wasn't there when you wrecked, but
So
I ended up buying that car from you, the one that you wrecked.
Really? Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, it was up at your dad's by Muller.
Yeah. I forgot all about that. I knew the car went somewhere. I had no idea where. I can't remember where.
I've had plenty of them. But there's a lot of them that never touched the racetrack. So.
That would probably be one of them.
Yeah.
That thing was hurt a little bit.
Yeah, it never hit the track. I don't know where it went from me, but
Did you get any good parts off of it?
No.
Did you make any money off of it?
No, I'm sure not. But it was hurt real bad. So
yeah,
I thought I could do something with it, but
yeah, I don't know. Maybe somebody could have clipped that thing and got a couple more laps out of it. But that thing was, I really didn't. I felt bad, but I didn't feel bad. I mean, that thing, like I said, it had 2 previous owners, and I know those guys raced it for more than a year each. So it was probably, by the time I was done with it and took a nice hit, it was probably ready to retire that thing. The other car that was involved in that was like a brand new Cyclone piece. It was like the second week out in this thing, and he said there was nothing left of his. He said the radiator cap might have still been good. He said, I think he said the gauges were even junk. I'm like, how did you do that with a brand new car?
I don't know if that was the same car. I remember helping you at Florence one year too, and you was leading a B main and got wrecked. I don't remember if that
could
was
have
the
happened.
same car.
Yeah, could have happened.
Yeah. That was security to the pits.
Security to the pits. Oh man, I forget these things.
That was probably around the same time frame.
Well, yeah, probably would have. So when I wrecked that car, I got another car. The car I bought from Danny McGee. He had an old Pierce car sitting in the weeds and trees growing up through it, and he called me up and says, "Hey man, I got this old piece over here. If you want to give me what I gave for it." And I said, "Well," he said, "I'll dig the ticket up." I said, "All right, check it out." Stan took me over. We looked at it, and it's like $300. I'm like, all right, $300.
I remember buying a car off of Tom Webster. Ran around with Danny.
Yeah. And that was those were some good modified days. Good super dirt, good modified days. There's plenty of cars everywhere. God, there was A and B features every single week.
Yeah.
Did you ever roll one of these? You ever get it upside down?
Only thing I've ever been upside down in was last October in a go-kart. And
yeah. How'd that work out?
Not too good. Landing on your head with no.
Did you have a helmet on?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I had a helmet on, but no, I've never been upside down on one of these. I got up on 2 wheels last year at Florence, but.
So there's a video. The guy sitting over there. Watch what he does and don't do that.
Yeah, that was the same night. I tried to do what he did later in the night.
Triple gainer.
Yeah, that was about as bad as I've seen in a Hornet. So.
Yeah, that was pretty violent looking. I was like,
yeah.
Ouch. Yeah, that was. Oh man, I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah, the door to it's right there, upside down.
That's fitting.
See it on the wall up there.
That's fitting. So if you hang the roof on the ceiling, would you have to turn it upright?
Yeah, I guess it would be hanging from the bottom of that loft up there.
You know, maybe if it had been a younger kid or a little guy, that little rollover he did might have hurt somebody.
Yeah, I know he was sore for a few days for sure.
Yeah. I see a head bob.
Yeah.
I say like, God, remember the flip Dave McWilliams had in his modified down at Portsmouth?
Yep. When
And,
his head came up out the window.
Yeah, man. I have said, man, if I'd been a little guy or a normal sized person, Dave's a pretty big boy, you know. If I'd been a little guy, that would have hurt somebody.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, that was
some
a scary
people just
accident.
don't realize that size helps sometimes. I mean, it's a violent. I mean, it can hurt you too. Don't get me wrong, but man, if you're a big healthy boy, you can take a hit. Interesting. What about so we got KFC or KOC? That the biggest race for you guys this year?
Yeah, for sure. I actually just purchased the RSX from Justin and Jerry, the car that he's been driving in the SCDRA events. So
Yeah.
I'll be driving that at the KFC this year.
Yeah. Not to be confused with KFC, like I just said a minute ago.
Oh, there's nothing wrong with some KFC.
Man, that's serious. I just had it on the way in. It was pretty good. They
It
got new
must still
chicken
be on
nuggets.
your mind.
It must be. It was good. It was good. So I wonder if they're going to do. Probably not going to do the sport mods this year.
Yeah, that's what I've heard.
Yeah. I thought the racing was good. I mean, it was a good combination. I don't know if it was a combination of weather that didn't help the situation last year or what, but yeah. Yeah, I would have thought that would have been a good combination and really brought in a crowd.
Yeah, we had a real good Friday night, not so good Saturday night. So.
Right. Okay. Is there any other big SCDR races locally that you guys would?
The only ones that we'll probably hit will be the weekend that they run Friday night at Moeller and Saturday at Florence.
Okay.
And I think June. I believe
June-ish. Yeah. Okay. All right. I guess Moeller's going to try. They'll be running this Friday, and then we got a big race at Florence coming up this week. So by the time this actually airs, it'll be in the past. But
yeah.
So coming up is the Spring 50. So are they not running the crate late models this week, but run everything else?
No, they're running. I've seen they're running late models, mods, crates, and Hornets. So no sport mods, no Crown Vics. So.
Okay. Interesting.
Which hopefully, this past week we only had 13 cars, so
13 Hornets.
Yeah, 13.
I didn't realize the number of Hornets was down that bad.
Yeah, I don't know if it's because guys still trying to get their stuff together. I think some guys are still waiting on motor parts and things like that.
Is parts still an issue to be able to get parts and what's available?
Yeah, I think there's still a bit of a delay on getting some of the motor parts.
I know we're kind of post and we're kind of coming out of COVID, but it still seems like there's still some delay on getting some stuff.
Yeah,
I feel like things are maybe getting better, but not 100%.
Yeah, I think it's getting better, but there's still a little bit of time catching up to get parts and motor parts and.
Yeah. Does that affect you guys a lot, or not as bad?
This car sat in the trailer most of the winter. The only thing we did was reskin it and rewrap it. So.
And then you're ready to get.
We're ready to go. So.
Well, that's good. It's good to be ahead of the game. I mean, it's. I think a lot of times it's hard to be ahead of the game if you don't start early, but. I guess if you don't have as much to do, it's not that bad, huh?
Well, I wasn't sure if we were ahead of the game, but to come out of the box Saturday and win the first night out, I guess we did all right. So
did all right. Good. How was the track?
Track was smooth.
Yeah.
Not a lot of grip.
Not a lot of grip.
Pretty much everybody locked down to the bottom.
Really? Okay. I was kind of curious. I felt like from where I was at, it looked like guys could run kind of anywhere they wanted. But I couldn't tell was everybody sucked to one line or was it plenty of racing all over?
Yeah, I didn't get to watch any of the other races. We was having power steering issues all night. We finally got it fixed for the feature, but our cars, we was pretty much locked down to the bottom.
Okay. Now, can you run these up top like you can some of the other stuff?
At Florence, it's tough to do unless the track's heavy. Once it gets black slick like it does most of the time at Florence, it's pretty much around the bottom.
Okay. Interesting. See, I wouldn't know how well or how much that affects your guys' grip. Street tires.
Yeah.
Tire sizes? What's your tire sizes like?
I mean, I run all 15-inch wheels and tires.
Okay. Yeah. 8-inch wheels?
7-inch.
7-inch.
Yeah,
Okay.
7-inch wheels.
You'd think former tech guys should know this stuff, right?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's weird. I mean, Florence, we run around the bottom most of the time, and at Moeller, it's around the top. So.
Interesting. So your size difference really helps, I guess, really where you're going to be at. Huh?
Yeah.
There's not a whole lot of. You guys run automatic transmissions, correct?
There is 5 speeds. I believe the 51's running a 5-speed. All of our stuff's automatic.
Okay. What about gear changes? Is that something? Is that a big thing? And you guys change a lot of gears? Don't really change a lot of gears?
I mean, the only way you really change the gearing with these, especially with an automatic, is tire sizes.
Tire sizes. Okay.
Which, I mean, at Florence, running the same track week in and week out, you're not having to do a whole lot of that.
Yeah. So even like you guys don't have to change much for even track conditions. I know like back in the day, if it's a heavy or a slick track, you might change gear just a little bit to get just a little bit more out of it or something like that. But you guys ain't really dealing with any of that kind of stuff, are you?
No, I mean, the only thing you're really going to change on these is tire sizes. You might throw some spring rubbers in it or something like that.
Right. So tell me a little bit about this piece.
Well, this piece we put together last March. I had bought that sport mod, and me and my wife talked and said, I can't afford to be competitive in that. Let's go back to the Hornets. So I actually went and found a car out of Virginia. I went and bought the car. We pulled the motor out of it, and this was sitting here just a street car with glass and everything in it, and in 7 days it went from a street car to a race car.
7 days.
The season was getting ready to start in a week, and Justin's like, let's just build you a new car. And I'm like, okay. So,
I got plenty of time.
So we put in the hours, mostly on the weekends, and 7 days it was sitting here ready to go to the racetrack. So
you had 2 weekends, basically, in 7 days.
Yeah, last year we had a lot of rainouts at the beginning of the year. Even this year we missed a few weeks. So we had a little extra time to get it ready. And
I knew, like, since Florida, we've lost 9 races. We haven't gotten anything in since Volusia. I'm like, man, I'm kind of itching to go racing. I want to get on the road and see some laps, So maybe next week, I'll probably still be at the tracks this weekend watching, but I'm looking forward to getting some racing in.
Yeah, we'll get in a long stretch here. We'll be looking for that break come June. So
yeah. I think maybe we've kicked a bad weather habit, and now we can get into full-blown race season.
Yeah.
I'm hoping.
After last week, bringing home the checkered flag, I'm ready to go back. So.
Yeah, I bet. So tell us about your sponsors. Who you got? Who's riding? Who's helping you out this year?
CNC Towing, Justin Dalton, Stevens Tire Service, Bill's Auto Service, Karshner Lawn Care and Landscaping. Matt's sitting back here with us today. The Half Moon Saloon, Stewart's Wrecker Service. That's my new towing business. VR Transportation.
Got a whole slew of them here.
Yeah, Supreme Lawn Care and Snow Removal, Bentley Lawn Designs, Gibson's Auto and Diesel, TJ's Mobile Computer Service, Classic Hair Designs, Dalton Property Maintenance, Auto Glass Resources,
nice.
Slicker Graphics. I think that covers them all.
That gets them. That's a pretty good start. Get you rolling anyway, huh?
Yeah, I've got a real good support group, and that's what enables me to, show up every week and have a good-looking race car and be up front.
Hey, I tell you what, I really like it. I like the colors. It looks nice and clean on the white. That's a good-looking car, man.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. Well, look, good luck, and can't wait, hopefully get this thing back in victory lane again.
Yeah, it feels good to get that monkey off her back early in the year. I've never won this early in the season, so hopefully there'll be a few more to come this year.
Right. Like I said, you got the hard part out of the way. You've made it to the top of the points. Now you just got to stay there.
Yeah, that's going to be tough to do. With the competition at Florence.
Is that going to be the tougher part? Tougher part to stay there or tougher part to get there?
I think I'd rather be up there and have them chasing me than me chasing them. So we'll see how it goes.
There you go. Cool. Anybody else you need to thank before we wrap things up?
Just my wife and my girls. Just everybody that supports this deal.
Right.
All my family and friends that shows up at the racetrack, and just anybody that's helped support me to get to this point. Obviously, Justin Dalton, man, I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for him.
Big help.
He's been a huge help to me, and all of this. I mean, not just this, the friendship that we have away from the racetrack. And, we're always doing stuff throughout the week with our kids and wives. And
that's awesome. Work together, play together, all that good stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
He's became a brother to me. We're together more than I'm with my own family. So.
Right. Good deal. Well, Kenny, good luck, man. Congratulations on the win last week. And see what you can do about staying on top of the points this year. And maybe we'll have another conversation at the end of the year. We'll talk about the end, and we'll see how it comes out.
All right, bud. I appreciate it.
Yeah,
Thank you.
No problem.
Thanks, everybody, for watching.
So we're going to throw a checkered flag on this session. Slingin Dirt Media, again, with Kenny Stewart here, coming off a win last week, feature win at Florence Speedway. Hope you guys like, subscribe, don't forget all that good stuff. Tell your friends, and we'll see you at the track next week. Thanks.